Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Time to sling some Bondo. Well, welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a good week. I have been out here sanding like crazy, almost completely down to bare steel. Now I could keep going, but this paint is pretty hard. It's taking a lot to get through. So where it has gone to nothing, like everywhere you see bare steel, was basically a layer of surface rust that had come through. So I've gone through, sanded it down, and everything else is just smooth like butter. There's no edge that you can feel anywhere on here. So I went through, and then of course, come through my first layer of Bondo, picking up all the dings. There's quite a few of them. You don't really notice them at first, but I can see one here actually. I missed that one right there. So that's one I'll have to do. But I'm just doing this to be like my first coat over the car. I'm gonna start like this, work my way the whole way through, right around, sand it down smooth. And what I can't visually just pick up with my eye right away, once we throw the first coat of primer down, they're gonna pop. And then we're really gonna see where the mistakes are. But this is basically gonna be my entire week, is the sanding. What's really gonna be a bugger is all this stuff. The stuff that I couldn't get, like I could run my sander here on this, but there's so much of this that's all gonna be done by hand. All these little grooves and all these little corners, all these steps on the back side here, just so paint doesn't flake off. It's all got to be done by hand. It's going to be a lot of work. Up in here, see where this looks kind of funny? That's because this is all lead. This is lead filled. All the seams together are lead. All down here, this is all lead. You can see the lead there. And where the holes have popped through, this is all lead. And then continuing on down through here, which is actually this whole pocket is lead that's filled it in. Now another thing, I don't know, it's obviously a factory thing, but I found out as well while I was grinding, and it's even turning the color. This is all lead as well too. This is all filled in, and it makes a really funny, I don't know, when you're sanding it and grinding it, it almost like it balls up and it feels really strange. Got quite the texture to it. But this is all original lead filler. Now, yes, I definitely have my mask on, and I'm using the vacuum when I sand this whole thing. Not so much for the lead, which is a good idea, but mostly because of this paint and the original fiberglass. I worry that it's actually asbestos fiber that's in there. So I've been using my cartridge mask and my vacuum, which has a HEPA filter in it, the whole time sanding. And even when I'm outside, I still have my mask on. And there's another hour of sanding down. You can see where the old Bondo was, the light color. I sanded almost all of it off to try to start over. I wasn't happy with that nice round transition, so I took it right down, using that kind of as a higher point, and then I rounded it off both sides. This back end here, there's nothing behind this. It's crushed in metal like you wouldn't believe. Someone has completely pushed that corner at one point. They beat it out with, looks like a chisel and a hammer. And all this is original body fill. So I just tried to fix up what's there, clean it up. I took it down a bit, but I didn't want to go and put too much on it. I don't want to put a ½ inch of body fill. And I worked this corner. As hellish as this looks, this is smooth. This is all just nice in here. There's one little hole right there that I forgot. But it sanded out pretty good. Most of these were just chunks taken out of the paint primer right down to the metal. Worked my way through, all my way up. And now I just gotta let that dry. I left the middle out purposely just because I was feeling lazy tonight. But I am gonna try to get this whole side, sand it before I continue on to the other. The next will be, with the hands. It's gonna be breaking work on the thumbs. But I'm going to get in this is all curved and contoured the whole way around. Get this all sanded up. Touch up the little spots with some body fill. There's not going to be a lot of touch-ups. I am going to put that rocker guard all the way around the bottom where your feet are always scuffing going in there. and I'm just going to finish off that transition. But it's onwards and upwards, I guess. Well, took a little time. Decided to cut some wood. I don't know if I'm even going to burn any more wood the rest of the year in here. But I also lied a little bit on the car. I decided I was too lazy to do all that small sanding. So I continued on around the back and down here on the rear quarter on the driver's side, and of course up just like the other side. And then up front here, I started really working this area here. So this area here, this required a lot of attention. This whole spot was the surface rust, where there was originally Bondo on here from, I don't know, 40 years ago. And I took it all off. I ended up using a wire wheel right down to the steel, and the moisture was actually in behind it. So I cleaned it off down to bare steel the best I could, and I polished it with that wire wheel. And then I went through with rust stop. It's a good liquid rust stop. And I treated the metal. It went through its process, just like when I did the tank. You know, it etched it, turned it black, coated overnight, converted the rust, and then I sanded it down again, cleaned off what was left, and I went through with a coat of Bondo on top of it. Now, by the time I got down to here, it's getting a little bit chilly in the garage here. I think it's down to 13 degrees. I'm not using any heat. So I just thought I'd put that heater on there for an hour just to help kick it. And yeah, I can still feel it needs another little bit of time. And other than that, I've been working the top of this fender. This is where I put my first set in. It's pretty good. I do have a really high spot right here. So I'm going to have to get the hammer out and give that a little knocking, gear it down. And there's another little one right here. Give that a little knock down and put one more layer on it. But that's about it. I'm all sanded out. I've been working. Oh, geez, look at that red. Man, that red kicks. But I have been putting in 12, 13-hour days at work on the paying job anyway. So I've kind of haven't really got to this that much. I kind of broke it up, really. It was actually 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. That was kind of the way I worked around this car. Did a quarter section every time. And now that all this is finished, now I got to get in here and doing all my rust or my sanding on the pillars and, of course, on the roof. But it's the end of another long week. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you. We will be for sure catching you next weekend. I love you all. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Like the video is always greatly appreciated. Comments are great as well too. And we'll catch you guys again later.